Hey guys, I'm back with another recap of Love After Lockup. This was episode 6, so tonight is the season finale. So sad, episode 7. But you know, hey, it's got to end at some point, right? So I'm so sorry. I have to apologize that this recap is getting up super late. I had a super crazy weekend, y'all. My whole Saturday pretty much was gone because Black Panther premiered, and of course that's an event. So my Saturday was gone just for that. So went to go see Black Panther Saturday. I was like, okay, well my Saturday's gone, but I was like, I'll film on Sunday morning. I'll get up early, film Sunday morning, and then I will, you know, post it. It should be up by Sunday night at the latest. But then I had a family emergency, spent the whole day pretty much at the ER. So Sunday was gone, and then Monday, you know, school, so I'm back on my regular schedule. So really, if I don't film on the weekend, I really don't have much else time to film. So I didn't get to film. It is Thursday night. I was like, I'm gonna have to carve out time because I've got to do this recap. So if you watched my live video, thank you. That was not my review though. So I saw some people who were commenting, asking if I was gonna still do a review, or was that my review. That wasn't my review. That was just something fun to do. To watch live together, and we can talk about the show as it airs. I thought it would be fun, and it was fun. I had a blast. So thank you to every single person who tuned in live. Thank you for every single person who watched after and enjoyed it. And if you don't like my live videos, and a lot of people were saying they didn't like, there were distractions. I live a crazy life, okay? I have dogs. I have people over who do things that are distracting and crazy. So, you know, hey, in the future, I will try to keep the distractions to a minimum. I'll try to keep the animals at bay and the other people out of the, you know, out of the filming. But, I mean, it's live. It's going to be my life. So, but, you know, I hear that, you know, but if you don't like the live videos, you don't have to watch them. It's really not a big deal. I'll probably delete them. I left that one up just because I didn't have anything else up. So once I post this, that live video will probably be gone. So sorry, all of your comments. It'll probably be gone. I probably won't keep the live videos. Anyway, so let's get right into this recap. That's enough talking beforehand. I hate those long intros into YouTube videos, and now I'm doing it. Let's get right into this recap. So this was episode 6. I think this episode was called Secrets and Sentences. Don't quote me on that. I'm not sure. But, so there was no Angela and Tony this episode. I missed my tomato. But, you know, Angela, if you ever see this recap, you know, I shipped Scott and Angela last week, okay? I think that those two are perfect for each other. They're both around the same age. They're 45 going on 75. And, you know, they're both getting scammed by these young prisoners out of all their little money. And they're both lonely, and they both seem like genuinely nice people. They're just a little naive and just really want love, and I don't think that they're going about it the right way. So listen, Angela, slide in Scott's DMs. I know since y'all are all on the same show, y'all have each other's social media accounts and names and all that stuff. Slide in the DMs. Hey, Scott, slide in the DMs. So while we're on Scott, let's go ahead and talk about him. So Scott, I'm not even going to say Scott and Lizzie, because at this point, we're not going to see Lizzie ever again. That first episode where we saw Lizzie doing all those interviews in her cell with those knee-high socks on was the first and last time we will ever see Lizzie. I am convinced at this point we ain't going to never see this girl again. She about to get 12 years to life for having meth, cocaine, and cell phones. We ain't going to see Lizzie no more. So let's just keep it real. Scott, let's just get right to it, because there is no Lizzie. So Scott is trimming his hedges. I don't even want to say he was trimming his hedges. I think the producer said, hey, we about to come over and film today. And Scott was like, okay, well, I'm going to just do something with my hands. Because he was not trimming a thing. There was nothing falling off of the bushes. Those trimmers, those hedge clippers, whatever they were dull. I don't know how long he had them, honey. They were rusted, dusted, and tired. And they didn't cut a thing. They couldn't cut a piece of construction paper with those hedge clippers. So he's whacking away doing something, and up pulls Charlene. Now Charlene is his friend, and you know what? The friends, everybody had a friend tonight that was like the hero of the night. Like it seemed like every single cast member had a friend trying to talk some sense into him. Charlene was his hero for the night. So she comes in asking him what's going on with Lizzie. So he tells her, he basically says, you know, she got caught with some drugs and a cell phone, and basically went to the lawyer, and he said she's gonna get 12 years. And Charlene's like, what are you doing? And She's like, you basically getting scammed out of your money. I know she gonna want you to pay for a lawyer. Scott's like, I already got the lawyer to the tune of 14 G's. I almost fell out when I heard that. Another 14,000. Is this in addition to the 20 grand that he said the first time him and Charlene met up? So he got 20 grand plus another 14. That's $34,000. Where are these men at? I'm just wondering. Asking for a friend. Where are these men out who are shelling out thousands of dollars in chunks? I'm just trying to find out. Where are they? So Charlene's trying to talk some sense into Scott, like, look, you just need to cut your losses. At this point, the girl is no good for you. Let it go. Scott's just sitting there like staring at the ground, you know, like a little kid when you're giving them a lecture, and he's like, he's tired of being alone. He just wants love, and he thinks Lizzie's the real deal, and he just will not be convinced. I don't understand. If somebody that you know cares about you and has your best interest at heart comes to you and tells you that they don't think somebody's right for you, wouldn't you at least stop and think about it and listen? It's like he's so hard-headed, he won't even entertain the thought that Lizzie is anything but genuine and the real deal and truly loves him. Even coming from his good friend Charlene, which, by the way, why are Scott and Charlene not together? This discombobulated me, because this girl done rolled up to your house and sat up there and had a whole heartfelt conversation with you. Obviously, she cares about you. There is a good connection there. And I understand some people can be just friends and nothing else. I have guys that are friends and we are just friends, no romantic stuff. I love them with all my heart, but we just can't be together. So maybe that's how Scott and Charlene are. But I mean, he should at least try. Ask on a date or something, Scott. Either he need to be with Charlene or Angela, but not Lizzie. Scott, let it go. Cut your losses. Okay, you lost the $34K. It's okay. You know, we'll replenish that. Just stop with the Lizzie stuff. Just end it. No. I mean, we don't even see her. She's not even filming on the show anymore. She has not gotten out. She's not getting out. She has a possible 12 years in front of her. You already said you was tired of being alone and so tired. You said you were tired of being alone. This girl about to get another 12 years added onto her sentence. And you said you want love. You're ready now to settle down and start your life. This girl clearly is not about to do that. Why are you still holding on to this, something that's clearly dead? I don't understand it. Scott's just being hard-headed right now, but I think he'll come around eventually. I think maybe tonight when we see the episode, he will come around and maybe come to his senses. Oh, I don't know, gosh. It's just, it's hard plowing. I hope that Charlene can talk some sense into Scott, because right now he's just... That was pretty much it for Scott. We didn't see much of him. We just saw that one little scene. And, I mean, there's nothing else to show. His girl ain't out, so what can we talk about? I mean, I don't even know why I spent this long talking about him. Scott, let Lizzie go. Slide in Angela's DMs. Let's move on to the next couple. Okay, so the next couple I'm going to talk about is Jonna and Garrett. So, basically what's going on with Jonna and Garrett? They got engaged last week. Jonna got her 1 carat solitaire stone. And, you know... Garrett thought that after he proposed to her, got down on one knee, you know what I'm saying, will you marry me? He thought that she was going to be happy and be quiet. He thought the ring was going to shut her up, or at least put her in a better mood from a day-to-day basis. But it turns out Jonna is still unhappy, and Jonna will just never be satisfied. Now, I will say this, because when we were doing our live broadcast, some people were calling Jonna psycho or crazy or trying to compare her to Andrea. Now, maybe at the end of this video, I'll do a full analysis of why Jonna and Andrea are not the same, nowhere near at all. I do not like Jonna. I'll say that. Let me get that out of the way. Jonna annoys me. I could not hang out with Jonna drinking wine on my couch. She would get on my last nerve, but that's just me. My type and her type would not mesh. She is very annoying. She's needy. She's whiny. She's doing too much all the time, and I can't take it. But I will say this, Jonna is crazy, and if you don't follow Jonna on Twitter, I think her Twitter name is like Vajana. I know, right? But look her up. She spills all the tea. I mean, all the tea. So if you don't want to be spoiled about how the show's going, I would suggest not following her. But if you don't mind, follow her. She spills the tea on Instagram, Twitter, all that. Jonna is crazy. She self-admitted psycho, but Jonna's like crazy, like every woman in the world crazy. Like every woman's crazy. We're all crazy to some degree. Come on, ladies, let's admit it. We're all a little off. We're all a little psycho. And that's how Jonna is. Jonna's like your crazy homegirl. Like everybody got that one homegirl that's crazy. The one that always turning up on her man, or always ready to fight somebody, or always complaining about somebody, saying something in the comments on the internet. Everybody has that one friend that's just crazy, but she's still a good person on the inside. Like, the inside is good. That's how I think of when I think of Jonna. The inside is good. She just wants love. She's a spoiled brat. That's pretty much her problem. She's a spoiled brat. She's always gotten her way. And now that she's got this wild dog off the leash, Garrett, that's not doing everything that she wants him to do, it's throwing her off, and she don't know how to react with that. So that's why she acts like this. She has this conversation with her dad. They meet up at the park, which I don't know why her and her dad always have to meet up at the park. Do they not like to go to each other's houses? Her dad don't own a home. I don't know, but for some reason they like to do like catfish and meet up at the park. And they're sipping their coffee and they're talking, and she telling her dad they got engaged. Her dad's like, and so what? He don't care. He's hoping that she don't actually marry this dude. He's hoping that this is another joke. And he basically drops some knowledge on her. Now, I will say this about Tony, that's her dad. He always drops knowledge, even though I went on the whole rant about him spoiling his child, and I still stand by that. I don't think it's good to spoil your children because they turn out as monsters as adults. But I will say this, he does have some words of wisdom for her, and he's basically saying, you're going too fast, you need to pump your brakes, you always want to do this, you always want to rush into things, and he's like, I'm not walking you down the aisle every 2-3 years, and I can see that. He really wants her to evaluate if this is what you want to do. Marriage is serious, it's not something to go into lightly. Think, Jonna, pause, breathe, this dude just got out of prison. They're going back and forth, and she's like, well, if we get married and he has somewhere to stay, he is less likely to go blah, 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 whatever study she looked up. Anyway, so, you know, her dad's just like, you're not hearing me. You're not listening to me, being hard-headed. He gets mad. He throws his coffee down, which I thought was a feat from the producers. The conversation wasn't heated enough for me to be throwing stuff down, like throwing things. Like, throwing things means the conversation's up here. The conversation was like right here. So the fact that he threw his coffee down was a little melodramatic for me, sir. But, you know, anyway, I digress. He threw his coffee down and said he was sick of it and he's done and he tired, you know. And Jonna was like, well, I gotta go to work. So they end that. But, you know, she needs to listen to her dad. That's what I'm saying. These people have these good people in their life, like Charlene, like Tony, trying to talk some sense into them. Just look at it from a different perspective. Take a second, breathe, look at the situation, have some common sense, take the love goggles off, and they just don't want to hear it. These people are so hard-headed. Oh my God. So, but Jonna does kind of start to listen to her dad. So she's like, okay, I'm going to ask Garrett what he thinks. So she goes to Garrett and basically asks him, you know, tells him what her dad said. And is like, well, why do you want to be with me? Child, Garrett ain't know why he wanted to be with Jonna. Garrett he almost said, because you had bought a house already. When you held me down for 6 years when I was in jail. That's why he's with her. She was with him for the 6 years he was in jail, and he had a nice home to come to when he got out. That's why he's with her. He couldn't even think of a good lie. He didn't know why he was with Jonna. So I think the wheels are starting to turn in her mind as well, that this is probably not a good idea, that this man is really just an opportunist and not really in love with her. I think that he cares about Jonna. I don't think that he just don't care about her at all. I think that he does care about her, but not to the point where he's like ready to be husband, father, man of the house. No, he's definitely not on that level. No, ma'am. So he's suggesting eloping, and she's like, no. You think I'm about to elope? No. She wants the big wedding. She wants the big hurrah and all that stuff. You know, spoiled brat, you know. I mean, Jonna and Garrett do not need to be together. I'm going to just say this. I don't think that they're a good fit. I don't think they're a good match. I think Jonna is a sit in the house type person. I think I said this a couple weeks ago. Jonna needs a 37 to 45-year-old man. Jonna needs someone who has done his dirt, has partied, has done it all, and he's in bed by 8:30 every night. He has to get up and go to work. He got bills to pay. He got responsibility. He's not trying to be in them streets. That's what Jonna needs. Ladies, don't be afraid to get you an older man. If you're kind of young, like 30, early 30s, but you're the type that wants to chill and sit down, girl, get you a 42-year-old man. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Jonna needs a man that's a little bit older. She does not need to be babysitting Garrett. It's not a good fit. It doesn't work. Garrett is a dog off the leash, and she wants the dog to be chained to the tree in the backyard permanently. And Garrett's just not for that. And maybe in like 10 years, Garrett will be ready for that, but not right now. No, it's not gonna work. So they just need to part ways too. I'm serving breakup orders for everybody at this point. Jonna and Garrett need to break up. Lizzie and Scott need to break up. Jonna and Garrett are not good together. And she needs to give him his 1 carat solitaire stone back and let him return it so he can get that money back, because I know he needs it to pay that car note, and they need to move on, go their separate ways. But you know, we're gonna see what happens tonight in the finale. I've seen little clips of her with a veil on, but I mean, God help her. If she marries him, he is a dog off the leash. He is not. But anyway, that's it for them. Whew, let's move on to the next couple. The next couple I'm going to talk about is Dominic and Kanekalon Kardashian. So Dominic and Kanekalon are kind of, you know, coming off that big fight they had last week. So, you know, they went dress shopping and tuck shopping, and Mary was basically just fed up with Dom for being a cyborg and not being affectionate with her, not being lovey-dovey like he used to. And Dominic is fed up with Mary because she doesn't understand that he is trying to get his life right and, you know, do everything right, the halfway house and everything, and then have the big wedding and all that stuff. You know, like I said last time, I see both sides. They both need to kind of meet each other in the middle. They are both over here at the extremes, and they can meet each other halfway. But anyway, so this started off with Mary wedding dress shopping. And gosh, I'll say this because I know y'all, I've been hard on Mary. You know, I said she looked disgusting last week, and then I took it back because I felt bad. As soon as it came out, it sounded real harsh. But, oh gosh, she has the potential to be really pretty. Oh, let me take that back. She has the potential to be cute. She has the potential to be cute. She does not play up her good things. She has this like jet black, lifeless, dead limp hair. She has way too many lip injections. She has I don't know if she got Botox in her face, but the makeup she wears is too shiny. If you have oily skin, girl, you need to do a pressed powder or a matte foundation, something. I don't know why she's so shiny. Her eyebrows are shiny. Her body, she has a little bit of meat on her bones, okay, I'll say that. But she does not dress her body well at all. She always wears these skin tight, like bodycon dresses, and I'm like, when you have a little bit of a belly, that's the last thing you need to be wearing. So, and she always has some plastic shoes, and she clomping around in them plastic shoes. Mary has the potential to be nice looking. She just doesn't do it. She doesn't play up her good stuff at all, and she just clomps around in those plastic shoes looking a hot mess around Toronto. But anyway, she's wedding dress shopping, and true to her nature, she is picking dresses that are all wrong for her body. Lord Jesus, I wanted to come through the screen and be like, baby, when you have a little bit of weight in the middle, the last thing you want to do is buy a dress that doesn't have a corset. You need something with ties all the way up and down your back so you can pull those suckers and rein everything in, push the girls up nice and high, and then have it flow out from the bottom. A-line is your friend when you have weight in the middle. For some reason, Mary wanted to pick a trumpet style dress, which is form-fitting, and then boom, it at the ankle pops out. It accentuated her belly. It looked awful. The second dress she picked was like a little cute short cap sleeve lace. It was a cute dress, but it was wrong for her. It had this seam right here in the middle that split her belly in half. She looked a hot mess. I could see her belly button through the dress. The dress had no structure. It had no lining. It was just straight silky material. That is what you wear when you weigh like 100 pounds and you're like 5'4". Somebody who has a little more meat on their bones needs a dress with structure. I hope that the dress that she actually buys is a princess style, traditional like corset with a bell skirt type dress. That's what she needs, really. She can't do these loosey-goosey materials with that belly on her. And I'm sorry, whoever, I'm sorry y'all if y'all get offended, but she has a belly. I mean, you got to work with what you got, okay? I have one too. I'm not going to walk out with no loosey-goosey. I'm gonna rein it in, okay? So Mary and her dumb friend sitting there not telling her she look a hot mess in these dresses, or talking about, you know, how she's scared that Dominic don't love her no more or something. I don't know. Whatever. She's worried about their relationship at this point. And so then fast forward to when they're at their apartment and Dominic pops up and she tries to act surprised like she didn't know he was coming, like, we not filming today. What are you doing here? Girl, you knew he was coming. Stop. So he brings her flowers, which I thought was really nice of him because she had said last week that he never bring me flowers, he never did anything nice for me, he never did anything nice. So he brought her some flowers and sits down and has a real conversation with Mary that needed to be done. So he looks her in her eyes and basically says, you know, I'm trying to get focused on getting a job, get my life right, getting things back in order for us to have a better future. That's all I'm focused on right now. I'm not focused on no wedding. Mary's like, oh, well, I thought you didn't want to be with me anymore because you don't touch me and you don't want to do wedding stuff and you don't want to do this and that. So he finally somehow gets it through her thick black-haired skull that, you know, he's focusing on getting through this halfway house, getting a job, building for their future, which amazing. Good for you, Dom. And so Mary gets it. And then he says, you know, a year from now is when we can have the wedding. And Mary's kind of bummed out because she's like, I don't want to wait that long, blah, blah, blah. So then Dominic finally just gives in and says, okay, we can have a small wedding. And Mary just, you know, oh my gosh, she pops up like a jack in the box and is so excited. But you know what made me really happy this week, y'all, is we actually saw Dominic smile. Y'all, he smiled. Like, when he smiled, I couldn't believe it. And it looked like a real smile. Like, it didn't look like that smile like in his first interview when he first came home and he was like dead inside, but I'm putting a smile on my face. No, it looked like a genuine, like he was happy. It was a cute little moment until, oh Lord, it was real cute. They was doing so good until they got up and went behind that partition and he unrolled her from that rubber bodycon, awful mesh top, whatever that was she had on. WeTV, y'all could have cut the scene right at the end where they were sitting on the couch talking. I did not need the pulling off of the clothes, the fake pushing him down on the bed, because I'm pretty sure as soon as they said cut, Dominic said, here's your shirt back, ma'am. I'm finna hit the road. I don't think they did anything after that little scene. I don't think they had sex. I don't think they did anything romantic. I think that was all for show. But I am happy to see Dominic showing a little bit of personality. He smiled, he giggled, even laughed, I think, a little bit. That made me happy. Y'all know I want to give Dominic a hug. Y'all know I think he was somebody's prison wife. He was traumatized. I still think that, but he is coming around, and that makes me happy. So best of luck to them in their future endeavors. Let's move on to the next couple. Okay, so next is our favorite girl, Andrea and Lamar. Lord, Andrea was just serving up real foolishness this week. The highlight of her whole segment, I will say, are her kids. Y'all, I don't even like kids. Like, I do not like other people's kids. I'm like, no, I don't like kids. But her kids, y'all, they just stole my heart. They were so mature and well-spoken, and even the little baby girl with her little kinky curls, and just she was just so excited and cute. Her kids, like her son was like the man of the house, her daughter was like 12 and like very mature, too much weave, but very mature, very well-spoken for a 12-year-old, very well-spoken for a 14-year-old, and even the little 5-year-old, very well-behaved. I will give you that. I don't know who is helping Andrea raise her kids, but whoever you are, you're doing a good job. I congratulate you, whoever you are, because I know that's not Andrea. Somebody is helping her raise these kids because they have turned out to be amazing little human beings. And I'm just shook by that because Andrea is a horrible human being. Okay, how did this episode even start? I got to get my thoughts together because it's just so much anger swirling. I feel it building. I got to get my thoughts together so I can get through this and get to Alla and James. So it starts off with her basically, there's her kids, they're kind of sitting down at dinner, and she's basically breaking the news to them that they're going to have to go see Lamar. Because Lamar informed Andrea while she was wedding dress shopping that he cannot come to Utah because of this little thing called parole that happens all the time right when people get out of prison. But for some reason that was strange to Andrea, and she thought that Lamar was lying to her. That he really didn't want to drive all the way to Utah and just wanted to keep making her come to him, which I don't even get that vibe from Lamar. Lamar is a criminal, has been in jail for 18 years, and he seems like a better and more genuine and more honest human being than Andrea could ever be. Andrea, girl, we know you'll lie. You done lied this whole time you've been on the show. You lied about where Lamar was. You lied to your family about him being a Crip. You lied about how you met Lamar. She said, recall, that she met him through a church ministry. Did she not? But what did she tell the lady at the wedding dress store? How did they meet? Oh, we were pen pals. They met on meetinmate.com like I told y'all. So all the folks who was in the comments talking about it could be true, she could have met him through church ministry. She's a liar. All she does is lie. You a liar and the truth ain't in you, Andrea. She did not meet him through a church ministry. She met him on meetinginmate.com or Facebook or some other type of avenue where people meet prisoners online. I'm convinced of that. You won't change my mind. She thinks that Lamar's lying to her and it's like, no, boo, you're the one who lies, not him. He seems to be pretty genuine and honest so far. And I don't know why he would lie about his parole officer not approving it. He just got out. He's been out like 36 hours. And they're not going to let him leave the state. And no, that doesn't happen. Nobody's been in jail for 18 years and gets to leave the state a week after. No, you're not going to Utah. You're not going anywhere. Andrea, you're going to have to drive to LA County to see him. Now, what she should have done once she found out that Lamar couldn't come meet her kids, she should have just driven out there by herself for another visit to see him. She should not have dragged her kids all those hours, all that way to go see some man that they don't know, that they don't like, that they don't want nothing to do with, except for little baby girl who keeps calling him Papa. And let's just get on that for a second. Andrea says that her and Lamar have been in a relationship for 6 years. I don't necessarily think that that's true. I think that she is saying this 6 years because I think that may have been when they began to talk. I think they started talking 6 years ago. Andrea was still sleeping with whoever Lil Boo Boo's baby daddy is. I can't remember Lil Baby name. We're going to call her Lil Baby. Whoever Lil Baby's baby daddy is who she was talking to when she first met Lamar 6 years ago, because Lil Baby is 5. And she said she's been talking to Lamar for 6 years. So there's a 3-month period here that don't add up. Okay? So I think that her and Lamar have been talking for 6 years. I don't think they've been in a relationship for 6 years. Her and Lil Baby's daddy were together while she was talking to Lamar. Apparently she got pregnant. I'm thinking Lil Baby's daddy probably wasn't worth ish. And so he was like, you know what? I don't want to be in my child's life, or I don't want to be in your life. So I'm going to just send you these child support checks every month. Deuces. So she claims that Lil Baby is Lamar's, daughter. That's the only father she's ever known her whole life. So she calls him Papa and Dad. And Andrea thinks that's so cute. And I'm like, she has never met this man. She has never seen him in person. And she is calling him Papa. And not only is she calling him Papa, but she is excessively calling him Papa. It got to the point where I was like, say Papa one more time, Lil Baby. And I promise I'm a whoop. It was just excessive. It was too much. I like Lil Baby. I think she's cute little girl, but no. So Andrea decides that she's going to pack up her kids. They're eating dinner around the coffee table that was about as big as this vanity that I'm filming this video on right now. I don't know how 4 people are supposed to eat dinner at it was like a nightstand. What was that table? Anyway, that was not a dining room table. She don't have no dining room. I don't know where they were eating at. I don't know. Alfred Lloyd Tennyson just feels some kind of way about it, and Andrea keeps saying that their family is going to be complete, and he questions it. He straight up is like, so our family is going to be complete just like that all of a sudden just because this man comes into our home? We don't know him. He doesn't complete us just because his presence is here. And I was like, yes, sir. Speak, Tennyson. Okay, I see you. And Alla wasn't having it either. None of her kids are having it except Lil Baby. Lil Baby, that's her daddy. So she's the only one on board right now. Nyla and Alfred Lloyd Tennyson are just not having it. So, they pack up and they drive out there. And on the way there, for some reason, Andrea gets lost. But they're holding a smartphone. So I'm like, Google Maps much? Okay, guess not. So they finally get to the house. And Lamar takes them down to his bunker underneath the ground. Which I was like, why couldn't they go see the rest of the house? I was confused at that. Because it's his brother's home. So it's not like he's renting a room with some stranger. He's staying with family. So I would think they would be in the house, like, just sit in the living room. But for some reason, they went down to Lamar's bunker in the basement. And everybody climbed on the bed, except for Nyla, who sat in the car. Because she was not having it, honey. She was not here for it. She said, I don't want nothing to do with that convict. No. And so Andrea tries to bribe her by giving her money, which I'm like, yeah, bribe your kids to do things instead of having them respect you as their mother and do what you tell them to do. That's great parenting right there. So finally, the real parent of the family, Alfred Lloyd Tennyson, goes back upstairs and talks Nyla into coming downstairs. It was a very mature conversation. I will say this again. Her kids are super mature, super well spoken to be so young. Oh my gosh. I just love them. They're amazing. So he convinces her to come down. So they come downstairs. Lamar's laying sprawled out on the bed like he can't even sit up and look her kids in the doggone eye. Now, y'all know Lamar has a soft spot in my heart, but he just turned me off with this whole scene, y'all. I don't know why he was laying on that bed with his hand over his face like he was being shy, like he didn't want nobody to ask him nothing. Oh, no, we're about to ask you something, because they start going in on Lamar. They want to know what he did in prison, why he was in prison. They want to know, is he still a gangbanger? And Andrea's like, y'all, don't say that. And I'm like, why would you stop them from asking questions of a man who's about to move into the house with them? They're about to have to live with this man. He's about to complete their family. And you mean to tell me I can't ask him what he did to get in prison for 18 years? I can't ask him, are you still a Crip? Do you still gangbang? Is the Crips going to come right by our house to shoot us up? These are things we need to know. I don't understand why Andrea has a problem with them asking those questions. The lady is crazy. And now is the perfect time for me to make the comparison between Andrea and Jonna. So Andrea and Jonna are not on the same level at all. Like I said earlier, Jonna is your crazy homegirl. Everybody has one. She the one who turn up on anybody. She will ride out, ride or die, no matter what, bust the window, slash the tires, all of that. She will look through the phone. She will stalk on Facebook. She will spill all the tea. She will speak her mind. And she will admit that don't try me because I'm crazy. Everybody knows that kind of girl, or you are one. Andrea, on the other hand, is manipulative, a pathological liar. No, those are two totally different types of crazy. Andrea has psychological issues that cause her to lie when there is no need to lie. That is a psychological problem. She manipulates situations to make herself look like the victim. I have yet to see Jonna do this. Jonna will whine and complain and do things to get her way and fuss and cuss, and just like every other woman. She's just irritating. She's just annoying. She's not a pathological liar. I haven't seen her get caught in any lies. Somebody can correct me if you have. I have not seen her get caught in any lies, and I have not seen her be manipulative. She is not manipulating Garrett. She is whining and complaining and doing things so that he will change his habits and behaviors and do what she wants him to do. I don't know a woman alive who hadn't whined and complained to get a man to do something she wanted him to do. Now, manipulating and lying to turn situations in your favor is a totally different thing. So, in conclusion, Andrea and Jonna are not the same kind of crazy, okay? Jonna's our crazy homegirl. Andrea is those kind of people that you just stay away from because they just don't know how to tell the truth, and they gonna always try to scheme and con you. No, they're not the same. I don't even put them in the same boat. Like, no. I would at least attempt to hang out with Jonna. I wouldn't hang out with Andrea. We could never. I couldn't. It's hide by keep it moving, because she looked like she always into something. She always plotting and scheming, telling a lie, telling something ain't true. I can't hang with people like that. No. The kids finally met Lamar this week, and you know, it was just real weird. It was awkward. You know. Even with little baby, she was all excited, jumping up and down to see him, but she wasn't even really that. She didn't seem that excited to me when she was laying up on that bed down in the bunker. So I don't know what Andrea's expecting of her kids. I felt like they did the best they could. I felt like just the fact that they went, because if it was me, I probably wouldn't have went. I would have been like, no, you're gonna have to physically pick me up and place me in the car. I'm not going. So the fact that they respected her enough to even ride down there all those hours, I commend them. I mean, they seem to be good kids. Like I said, whoever is helping Andrea raise her kids, good job. Because I know Andrea's not teaching them to be like this. They are way too well behaved and way too well spoken. So we'll see what happens with Andrea and Lamar. I think the wedding stuff is going to happen tonight. And it looks like Andrea's going to sabotage it just like she sabotages everything else. Ooh, I'm done with them. That was a long rant. Sorry, y'all. Let's move on to the last couple. Last but not least is Alla and James. Lord, poor James. You know what? I used to think that James was on something, and now I just feel sorry for him. He's just you ever seen somebody that was so him and Scott about the same to me. You ever seen somebody just so naive and green that it just made you sad? Like, that's how I think of when I see James. It just well, I can't look directly at him because the crazy eyes freak me out. But, you know, when he does come on the screen, I do just get sad. So, James's scene kind of starts out with him at Chris's house, his homeboy Chris. And him and homeboy Chris are wiping down these outdoor tables. I don't know what they're wiping. I don't know if they were about to sit on them. I don't know why they're wiping down these tables. But he's helping them wipe down tables. They're drinking a beer. And they're just talking. And he's telling Chris about the whole pregnancy story and about all the crazy behavior, erratic behavior that Alla's been doing. How she missed her interview and She thought she was pregnant, and Chris is like, I call BS. He was just like, dude, do you really think that she's pregnant? Like, you really thought that? You know, James was like, well, it came up negative. He's like, you really think she's pregnant? Like, I mean, another hero for the night. I'm telling you, everybody had a friend that was trying to talk some sense into him this week. So Chris is like, I mean, hey, I would think that she's probably getting high. She's probably trying to go score a bag and shoot up. Like, that's what I'm thinking. If the way he described her behavior, the way you're describing her, how she's acting, it sounds to me like she's not sober. So James at this point doesn't really want to hear it. He gets mad at Chris. They get into this big argument. They kind of bump heads and he dips out in anger. So after he leaves, he calls Alla on the phone. I'm thinking, you know how when you have an argument with somebody about somebody else and you're trying to tell them the person's not like this? Like, no, they ain't like that. And the person's like, yes, they are. And you get mad and storm off. And then you call the person on the phone like, I'm going to show him my baby ain't no drug addict. Let me get on this phone. And he called her and she doesn't answer. And he's like, okay, she didn't answer. But maybe she was busy. And then he gets home and comes in the door and she's in the bathroom dying. And it's like, dang, I just argued with my friend about you. I just stuck my neck out for you to defend. You know how much of a fool you feel like? I know everybody's, I've had that where, you know, ladies, you know, I'm saying ladies because I'm a lady, men too. Have you ever had a significant other that, you know, your family just couldn't stand and you just defended him to the tent? My baby ain't this. My dog, he ain't. Y'all blowing up at each other mad. You storm off. Let me call my man to show them that my man loves me. My man ain't doing that. He don't answer because he at another chick house. That was James this week, y'all. He argued with Chris to the tent to defend Alla, and then she just did exactly what Chris said she was doing. He comes home and Alla has, I don't know if she overdosed or if she was withdrawing, but one or the other, she was geeking in that bathroom harder than Frankie. I mean, she was just panting and wheezing and sounded like she said she didn't feel good, and he said she on the floor, and he's like, well, he didn't know what to do. I'm like, you don't know what to do? I mean, I know some people have said, well, some people haven't been around drug addicts. I'm like, okay, I'm not saying you had to grow up in the crack house, but dang, TV, movies, I mean, people kind of have a general sense of how a drug addict or someone who is high on drugs would act. And it's not normal. So the fact that James can't see this until he comes home and the girl's laying in the floor shaking and throwing up, that's what he had to see for it to finally click that she's not sober. Just baffles me. I would think that he would have saw it. But anyway, you know, he's like, do you want me to call 911? I'm like, dude, yeah, she's dying. Like, yes, dial 911. So they cut the cameras, and that's how the episode ends. And we don't know what happened to Alla. Well, we do know what happened to Alla. But we don't know what happened to Alla. It left it hanging. James has finally realized that Alla is not sober. And he basically says that if she's going to be doing drugs, I can't have her in my life. And good for you, James. You know, you can love people, but some people you got to love from a distance. You know, I'm not saying you got to just be mean to her, but you got to tell her, hey, you know, you can't stay with me if you're doing these drugs. You got to go get into rehab. You got to do something. But I'm not going to sit here and enable you. That's the worst thing that you can do for somebody who is under any kind of addiction. Even though you do want them to have their best life, you do want the best for them, they're not going to have a roof over their heads. Sometimes a little tough love is what somebody needs to get the help that they need. So I hope that James is sincere when he says, you know, she's doing the drugs. I can't be in her life in this way. And I hope that he gets that baby some help, because she is... Heroin is one of the hardest drugs to get off of. So just the fact that she was in jail for heroin use and distribution would have made me run. I mean... That's a really tough drug to kick. And, you know, they get drugs in jail too. So who's to say she was even, I can't even confirm that she was sober for the whole 5 years she was in jail. I don't know that. But I just really hope that that girl gets some help, because that's a rough situation. And I hope that James and his crazy eyes find somebody that's good for him. He needs somebody with some sense to help him navigate through life, because he's a little slow, y'all. He's just a little life slow. He's a little naive. He's a little green. He needs somebody who can help lead him through life. He can't be with a drug addict. That's blind leading the blind. He needs somebody who is very savvy, very smart, a very, you know, just woman who just knows the ways of the world can help James not get swindled and bamboozled, because I feel like he would get swindled out of thousands of dollars by somebody coming door to door selling volcano insurance. But that was this episode. Man, it was a good one. I mean, it just keeps getting better and better, y'all. I cannot wait until the finale tonight. I'm so excited. Thank you guys so much for waiting all week for this review. Like I said, I apologize, but you know, life happens. I couldn't get it out on Sunday like I normally do, but I will be watching the finale live, so watch it with me. Just jump on YouTube, and if you're a subscriber, then you'll get a notification when I'm live, and if you're not, you can subscribe if you want to. I'm not into that whole forcing people to subscribe. If you like my videos and you want to subscribe, subscribe. If you just want to watch me every week and never leave a comment, that's fine too. I don't care. If you want to see my live tweets for all the shows that I'm watching, and there's a description for every single show that I'm watching right now in the description on this channel, then you can follow me on Twitter at NICHI_P_tweets. And then you can see my crazy live tweets during every show that I watch, not just this one. So I will see you guys tonight for the live season finale. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it's over. I want to cry. Okay, I just got to give a quick shout out to my girl, Erin Martin. So you guys remember Erin, I was on her podcast for the series premiere of this show a few weeks ago. And she is so sweet and nice. She was doing these great giveaways with these amazing canteens. Aren't they cute? And I'm a crunchy girl. I am a hippie. I am granola. So the fact that this is stainless steel and not plastic or something with BPA in it just makes me so happy. And she sent me one of these. I didn't even have to do anything. She's just amazing. She's the best. So if you want to connect with Erin, you can follow her on Twitter at Erin Leah Martin. And she has a Facebook group called Pink Shade with Erin Martin. Same thing right there. And she also has a podcast on all podcast avenues called Pink Shade with Erin Martin. She is hilarious. She's always spilling the tea, especially for stuff like Housewives. So if you're a big Housewives fan, all franchises, Erin is your girl, because she always has the Housewives tea. And I don't keep up with the Housewives that much. So she is your girl if you love Housewives. But thank you, Erin, so much. I really appreciate the gift that you sent me. I got it finally. And I'm so excited about this finale tonight, y'all. So watch with me live if you want to. Follow me on Twitter. See my live tweets. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye, y'all.